friends, it's Kayla and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today we are building in the world of Tartosa on the old Torget house lot. And I wanted to do kind of like a small residential business build, but using limited packs. So this is built using businesses and hobbies, of course, base game, and then I did include some items from the Book Nook Kit. I'm building a cafe and a bookstore with an apartment on the second floor. And for the bookstore, I just felt like the Book Nook Kit was perfect. I also did assign each room I believe you need for rent for this feature, but I made sure to assign employee areas, residential areas, and then, of course, the public areas, which are the businesses. So I'm not quite sure if this is going to be completely functional without for rent. However, I just really wanted to build this world and I thought it looked perfect in this lot. I think that it's a really cute lot that's sort of central to downtown and would probably serve a lot of residents. So as you can see, we are working on the shape here. I decided to just do one apartment on the second floor. I feel like whoever lives in that apartment owns both stores. We've got, like I said, the cafe and the bookstore, and I think that those two sorts of stores go really well together. I know when I go book shopping, I love having a beverage, a little coffee, so I thought that it worked well together. As you can see, we're kind of figuring out right now the roof line, and I decided just to use half walls and platforms. So it looks like I'm going to have an overhang above the bookstore right now, but I do go ahead and change that. I kind of set the door to the building back a little bit and then use just regular walls to create, I guess, just kind of a separation. That way that both of the storefronts, both of the storefronts looked separate from each other. I also added a bump out to the bookstore, and this is going to become a little cozy reading area, and I thought that was super cute. In a minute, you're going to see I changed the colors of everything to be super neutral. I thought at first I was going to have them both very colorful, but I do turn them or change them to the neutral colors. I then decide later on to go back to the green color for the Book Nook, the bookstore, and then I do like a chocolatey brown for the cafe. I wanted it to be super warm, and I think that those two colors worked really well together. I love the windows that we got with businesses and hobbies. It's perfect for this sort of build because you have the windows on the second floor here that are perfect for a second floor apartment unit. I feel like it's very common to see kind of the bars across the windows, and they match really well with the other windows in the pack. I think that the swatches are perfect. The stone on them all matches. So I really enjoyed kind of mixing and matching the windows and doors from this pack. They also have that perfect door that I use as the entrance to the apartment that looks like an apartment entrance door. And so I just think they did a really good job putting together the items for this pack, and I decided to use the wallpaper that's sort of those like concrete blocks. I forget the technical term for them, but I think these are super cute as well. I did think about making it colorful and doing the stucco, but I just really liked the idea of bringing the color in with the accents such as the door. For the roof for the top of the buildings, I decided to raise the platforms to the same height as the half walls, and then I used an air conditioning unit. We've got a little chimney there, just some things to add to the realism of the build. But overall, the entire shape of the build has come together, we are going to start working on the flooring. So I do cover up all of the grass. I just think that grass in this random lot didn't make sense. So I instead use kind of like the sidewalk slabs. I believe I change it in just a moment, and then I use a different type of cement brick for the pathways to the stores. One thing I wish we did get is matching stone that you see on the sidewalk area. We don't have that, at least not as a floor tile, maybe as a terrain paint. I didn't really take a look at that, but now we are just going to decorate the storefronts here. The signs that came with Businesses and Hobbies are so cute. So I've got that book sign for the bookstore. I do add a sign here for the cafe. We've got an open for business sign. I think that this pack also pairs really well with other packs. I think it's called Cozy Bistro. Cozy Bistro has some really good items that match. And then, is it Cottage Living that has signs similar to this? I'm not quite sure, but I do feel like this pack is very versatile. It goes very well with other ones. And so now on the side of the building, I am putting a little seating area. Whether or not you just want to sit here with your coffee or you want to sit here and read the book that you got, I just think that this was the perfect area to do that. And I love the umbrellas that we got. I think that they look so cute. So I kind of combined them with the tables to give them some shaded areas, and I am using these base game benches just around the perimeter as seating areas, because since this is super central to the downtown area, I figured people probably just like to walk over this way and sit on a bench. And then we're adding some lighting that matches the lighting on the other sides of the streets. These are from Debug, and I believe they're base game Debug. I don't think that they are Businesses and Hobbies Debug, but they worked perfectly for this build. So I'm just kind of playing around with where I want those lamps and benches to go, and I also decided to add some greenery to the front of the building. I just think that it looks super cute having these planter boxes. I toyed around with the idea of using these like decorative pieces, but I didn't like the way they looked for this build. So now I am just going to continue decorating the front of the buildings here. These wall lights we got from Businesses and Hobbies are also some of my favorite. I think they're so cute. We've got these cement planters. These are from Base Game actually, and I love the coloring of the bushes. So now we are moving on to the inside, and we did jump a little bit because it took me a while to figure out how I wanted this corner to be, and I didn't want the video to be 5 minutes of me decorating one corner. But we are in the bookstore, and this is where a lot of the Book Nook Kit items come into play. So we've got those super cute stacks of books, which I thought were such a great decoration. I just feel like it's a very homey kind of feeling in a bookstore to decorate with books. We've got this plant, I believe is from Businesses and Hobbies, and then this really cute stack table worked perfect in this area. This is from the Businesses and Hobbies pack as well. So I just kind of stacked some books around, and I think that it came out really cute. We also have these posters from the Book Nook Kit that look like they are book posters, so posters of the covers or posters of quotes from the book. I think they worked perfectly in here. I love this wood flooring we got with Businesses and Hobbies, and I made sure also to include kiosks in each of the stores because I believe that's the only way for them to function. I don't think that putting a register down overrides that function, so I made sure to put the kiosk in there. And here I decided to really keep it warm with brick. So you'll see I've got this really pretty like a brownish red brick that I think looks super warm and cozy. And then I am adding a little entry rug from Base Game. This is where I decided to change the windows to be the same color as the door. And this little bump out, like I said earlier, is our little reading area, and I think it turns out super cute. One thing I wish we had got more of are different swatches of those curtains. I just felt like the curtains that came with this pack with Businesses and Hobbies have some really unique swatches that aren't super neutral except for the black and the white. So I decided to forego the curtains, and we're using seating that I also believe is from the Book Nook Kit. I try to use the Businesses and Hobbies ones, but the Book Nook Kit just looks so much comfier. So we've got 2 of those love seats facing each other, and then this coffee table that is from the kit as well, which works so perfectly for this build. And then I do sort of decorate this area with a plant and some lighting. I think that it came out really cute, and like I said, it's cozy, and so I thought it would be a nice place to go and sit down and read books that maybe you're thinking about purchasing or that you have purchased and now you just want to hang out. So this area came out super cute in my opinion. For the front area, I wanted to have some sort of checkout like station, I guess, and this is when I discovered that we do have a register that came with Businesses and Hobbies. Now, you probably know this already if you've watched some of my builds. I do not play The Sims. I am not a gameplay simmer. I just really love to build, so I'm not quite sure if that register does anything. However, it made sense to me to have a little register at the front. We've got an empty book basket for any returns possibly, and then I do just kind of decorate with a little lamp. I keep it very simple, but I use Base Game cabinets. I never use these. I just feel like my builds aren't industrial enough for them, but they worked so well for this build. I did put a little coat hanger since there is an area for the Sims to hang out and read. I just thought that could be a cute little drop-off area for their coats. And then back here is where I display the books. Now, I'm not sure if you've ever been to those really cute, super niche bookstores, like maybe a bookstore that is romance only or, you know, things like that. They don't have a ton of shelves, but they've got, you know, a very curated collection. So this is the style or kind of like the vibe or feel that I wanted to have in this store, and I think that these bookshelves are so cute. I believe those are from Businesses and Hobbies, and they did such a great job making sure that there were enough swatches. So I absolutely love the way that the bookshelves came out. I also made sure to include some cute pendant lamps, and now we are headed to the cafe. It took me a while to figure out the layout of the cafe. I honestly made this much smaller than I should have, but then I remembered we've got a lot of seating outdoors, so I didn't really need too much room inside. We're using this little I guess coffee bar from the Businesses and Hobbies kit. Again, I'm not quite sure if it does anything more than decoration, but I think it looks really cute. I've still got the kiosk, and I made sure to include a tea and coffee brewer. That way you can make tea or coffee and hopefully sell it, but again, I do not play The Sims. I don't know how this works, but I'm just cluttering up this little area a little bit with some baked goods, and then we are just going to add little decorations here. I'm putting a sign that looks like a little menu, and then I'm also going to put a trash can in the corner. I do make sure to include some aprons, that's what you call them. I use this door that is from Businesses and Hobbies, which I think is really cute. And as you can see, I also use the cement floor that looks like it's painted. And I think that was a really nice vibe for this area. It's probably super easy to clean, and yeah, I just think it looks really cute. And I use the wood paneling that also came with the kit, and we have one singular table inside. Like I said, it is probably much smaller than I should have made it, but we've got so much seating on the outside that I thought it was okay. And so we are just going to add some decorations to the side here. I decided to go with this super cute base game wall decor that came in a neutral swatch with some pops of green. And then this area out here is one of the areas I designated for employees only, and I decided to just make it a really cute, I didn't mean to say cute, a really small employee kitchen area. I kept it really basic. We just have a fridge and a sink, and I figured this is just where they keep any refrigerated items, and of course you need a sink to wash your hands. As you'll notice, I do not have a bathroom that's designated for employees or for the public. Unfortunately, the only bathroom is upstairs, but I think that's okay for this sort of build. So now we are creating a little tree area. This tree is from Businesses and Hobbies, and I love this swatch that they gave us. Sometimes the trees are really, really bright green, kind of like the default swatch. The tree swatch that I decided to use is a really deep green with a dark trunk, and I think that works perfectly for the coziness of this build. And I decided to kind of frame out the area for the tree using a base game fence, which I thought looked super cute. And then we are finally moving up to the apartment. So this is a 1-bed, 1-bath. It could fit 2 Sims comfortably, and I decided to also make this as comfy and cozy as the stores. So we've got the dark brick as well as the dark wood, and so I am using the same cabinets that I used downstairs. I think they worked perfectly in the apartment as well. And then I am just using some base game appliances. I really like the upper head cabinets when you're using the end pieces. So it has that like glass, you can see the dishes through there. I do not like the overhead or upper head cabinets with the regular piece. I just think that it doesn't look as nice. So I don't use these cabinets very often, and this was the perfect build for me to use them in. We have a tiny little 2-seater table, and then I made this area the living area, and I wanted to use the rugs that came with this pack. I think that they are so cute. I love the distressed sort of finish, so I do decide to go with kind of a blue theme. That's what made me change out these chairs, and I think that it looks super cute. We're using this couch that came with Businesses and Hobbies, and I am using the matching armchair in the corner. I do not have a TV. Maybe they just watch things on their phone or on their laptop, but there was just no room for me to make a TV look comfy, if that makes sense. We're using this cute little lamp, and then I do use the curtains that came with the kit in a black swatch, and I think that the black and the white swatches look so cute, and I love the way that they drape. So we are just using the black swatch over here. I'm just gonna add some greenery with the plant, and I also decided to use this Book Nook end table. I think that it's so cute with the books underneath, and then this lamp, which I think is from Businesses and Hobbies, which is really cute. So we have the bedroom to the left and then the bathroom to the right, and I decided to create a little office area as well. I'm sure that as a business owner, there are lots of things that need to get done on the back end. So this is sort of their little office corner. We've got a laptop, a desk. This desk is so cute. I love that we got a small desk with this pack because we have a lot of desks that are just the standard 2-tile wide, but the 1-tile wide desk fit perfectly over here. And I kept decorations to a minimum here. I didn't want anything to look overcluttered because this house is, or this apartment is on the smaller side. So it's, you know, industrial but minimalistic at the same time. So we've got just a little plant, a little cup of utensils, a salt shaker, salt and pepper shaker, all of the necessities that you may need. And then I decided to add another one of those book posters. For the bedroom, I used the very, very cute bed that came with this pack. This is one of my favorite beds. I love the pillows. I love the stacked blankets, the texture. Also, the headboard. I feel like this is so realistic for the more, I guess, trendy style these days, and the swatches are so cute. So I decided to use the one that came in this dark blue color, and instead of having lamps, I wanted to do pendant lights. So these are the same pendant lights I used in the bookstore, but I used them also in that dark navy blue shade, and I think it looks so cute. It really fits the industrial vibe, having that sort of metal lighting. I do also decide to clutter just a tiny bit, so we've got kind of a notebook, probably for ideas that come in the middle of the night, a plant, and a stack of books. I feel like this sim is an obvious book lover if, you know, they own a bookstore. And then we are going to use the white curtains in here and the cute wardrobe that came with Businesses and Hobbies. And I'm just decorating here and there with some plants, and I have this mirror from Businesses and Hobbies that I really enjoy, as well as this art gallery wall. And now finally we are on into the bathroom, where I made a good sized bathroom. I think that as a business owner, you probably want a nice relaxing bathroom to go to at the end of the day with this really pretty tub. So that's what I did. I've also used the mirror and the sink that came with the pack, and I just feel like this bathroom came out super cute. I'm very happy with the tiling on the floor as well that came with this kit. And just adding some art here or there. I can't remember which art I decide on. Oh, yes, I did decide on just reusing this because the sea creature theme works super well in a bathroom, in my opinion. But that is basically it for this build. Oh, I am finishing the outside. I did want a little private patio area, so I've got the chairs and the little table, and then I also decided to use the string lights that came with this pack. I love the string lights so much. I used the string lights to outline the half wall. I think that it turned out super cute. And then I also used a wall art that I have never used before, and it is from Base Game. It is for Day of the Dead, I believe. Dios las Muertos? I totally butchered that, but I used a swatch that I thought was super cute out here. And that is pretty much the end of the build. So thank y'all so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. If you have any advice to give me about, you know, building using some of the gameplay functions I'm not aware of, please let me know in the comments. But otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Bye.